One. Hey there. It's the Sisterhood with JennyB and Jayne. It is a season 2, episode 10. We took a break last week, but we came back swinging this week. So, all right, Jayne. Well, what was the highlight of your week?
Probably getting to Friday this week. It was just felt like a long week, but
Jayne,
I'm sorry. I'm just being honest.
Okay, I need you to start writing down when something slightly positive happens for you.
I'll tell you what. I just thought of something else that I forgot that I had already thought of prior to this, because sometimes it really does feel like the highlight of my week is that it's weekend. But it was Livia had prom last weekend, so technically that's part of this week because we ended up taking last week off because we had too much going on.
I sent my answers too. It's a 2 weeks.
Yeah. So probably, the prom was pretty exciting. She looked gorgeous and, she did all the stuff and, we took pictures and we went to me and Jada, her best friend, followed her and her date downtown where his uncle, who's a photographer, was doing like pictures. We ended up going into like Decatur. I thought we were going to Piedmont Park, but then they changed us to Decatur and it was really nice. We had, it was funny because he was like, I do a lot of weddings. I was like, I can tell because you were doing like a lot of like wedding shots, which were hilarious to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was really sweet. Like Olivia's dress was beautiful. And, I hadn't seen it on her because she refused to try it on for me, only just sent me a picture from the store to try to convince me to spend $400 on a prom dress. But that was the one she finally found and she looked gorgeous.
She did look gorgeous.
Like her sleeves, I worked that day because it was Friday night and her sleeves were a little bit long. Like the spaghetti straps were too long. They were for like a much taller woman, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I would have taken it to have this fixed or like sized had I known that they were long. So I was like trying to safety pin them and she had a train. So we had a little bit of an incident with that, well, luckily before anybody got here or before her date picked her up and then they went downtown and she was fine. But, I think she had a good time. And then she stayed downtown or in a hotel with 4 of her friends, female friends. And then her date had a track meet the next morning. So he had to be up early.
Yeah.
So the things you think about as a mom.
Yeah.
But,
strategy.
And then we, Jada and I, her best friend, we stayed after they left to go to the prom. We stayed and found a taco place down in Decatur and ate. And,
nice.
Yeah. And chatted. What's that?
You hung out with Jada?
Yeah. Yeah. And we chatted for, we were probably an hour and then headed home and I dropped her off and then I went home.
Awesome.
But it was a fun night and I think Liv had a good time. So
yeah.
But it's just crazy. It reminds you like how much older you're getting when your kids go to her senior prom and where she's about to graduate.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey,
real world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I had 2 highlights for my week. I'm going to say the last 2 weeks. Okay. So the night we had a lunar eclipse and that was actually last week, but I did get up at 2:15 in the morning and hung out until 3:20 a.m. when my dog, Bloom, went on high alert because I was up on the deck. That's the best view in my yard.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay out there the rest of the night and just enjoy it, like absorb all the moonlight and just sleep on the deck. I had my like yoga mats and blankets, but that bitch fucking went off towards she scares me all the time when it's and Jeff refused to come out with me. So I was just a pallet. You can just go right back to sleep. And he's like, no. So anyway, she went nuts and I froze. I could not move. So luckily I had my phone near me and I texted Jeff urgent and he came out and he's like, I'm bringing this shit in. You're coming back to bed. But then I got back up at 6 a.m. and I went and sat outside on the swing and just hung out for an hour because it's still dark in the morning. Yeah. But so fast forward to the part when I went out, actually it was like 5:45 a.m. So I'm in my backyard and I'm looking at this tree that's right behind my fence. And I'm like, damn. I don't know if I told you, but recently I was in the hot tub with Jeff and Blaine and I heard an owl and it hooed and I hooed and then it hooed again and I hooed and Jeff pretended he didn't hear it and Blaine's like, I heard it.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think I made a friend. Well, fast forward, I thought I saw an owl, and the silhouette of one, because it was pitch black out, and I like didn't have a flashlight or anything with me to see, and it was just not going to be dark enough to know if it was actually an owl or not. And there's still a shit, so it didn't move. And then I had to go in because we had to like take the dogs for a ride and whatever. So I go in the house and I'm pumped because I think I just saw an owl. And I think it's my owl that I made friends with recently. And so I'm telling Jeff about it. And then Bronx wants to go out front. So I'm going outside to open up the garage door because we're going to bring the girls anyways. And when I opened up the garage door, it scared Bronx. So she like took off. And so I went outside the garage to like check on her. And all of a sudden I heard my owl. It was like, hoo, hoo, hoo.
Yeah.
Hoo, hoo, hoo. And so, of course, I hoo-hooed back. And then it hoo-hooed again. And then I hoo-hooed. And so, and then it stopped. But it was just crazy. I think it was the owl I saw out back when I had walked into the front. It had come around. It's like hanging out in the area.
Yeah.
So that was honestly probably the biggest highlight.
Yeah. I do love owls. We have one that comes, well, it might be two, but I can't tell them apart. But it comes and sits in the back tree. I worry a little bit more now that I have Bentley because I feel like they try to circle.
I looked up the cat.
Yeah. But when we first moved down here, we lived with my friend Crystal for 6 months while I was like finding a job, finding a house, finding all that, getting a school district or figuring out the school districts, all that. And
I'll let my cat in. Keep going.
Okay. And I remember that she has like 18 acres and we used to take these nature walks and she taught Olivia how to talk to the owls and really they will talk back. Like it's crazy.
I'm sorry. Cause come here, kitty. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna protect you. Look, Woody. Go lay down. I love you. I love you so much, but go lay down. Okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
I missed what you said.
No, it's all right. I was just talking about how Crystal had taught Livia how to the owls, and they do respond. It's crazy because you actually are like having a conversation with them. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I think now that
my phone,
your phone,
here it is. I put it down to pick Bauer up because he was camping. Boise was standing in the doorway as soon as I opened the door. Her head was right there.
Yeah,
and now they're working.
Yes, score. But yeah, we have, so anyhow, the owls that we have here, one day I got home with Bentley and it was when he was a younger puppy. And when I was pulling into the driveway, when my lights went up, because my driveway's a hill, you've seen it. And so as my lights went up, I thought I saw something black, but I didn't know what it was because it was pretty dark that night. And my front light wasn't working. I needed help. And so I just got out, put Bentley on his leash and took him out to pee for the last time of the night. And all of a sudden I felt this like wind by my ear and I looked and it was a huge owl like full wingspan and swooped down. And I didn't think they would get that close to me, but Bentley's white. So he shows up and I think it was looking at like a potential food source, even though like there's no way I think an owl could actually eat my dog, but I think it could definitely hurt it.
Yeah.
And
it would pick it up. It could carry it. And so.
But it's not like it could eat it in one bite like a rodent or something. I don't know. So, but that being said, it could have done a lot of damage or maybe killed him. And so I remember grabbing him and running down the hill because I didn't know what to do. And I called my friend Crystal because I felt like because she taught us about owl hooing, I was like, she's obviously got her and she should tell me what I should do right now. And so I was standing down there like holding my dog trying to cover him. And I was like, what do I do? And she's like, well, get in the house. And I was like, oh, okay, obviously.
That's it.
I like sprinted up the hill with him when we went in the house. But I saw it go down into the tree and it was like all dark under there because, there's no lights. And so I was just thinking like, he's just waiting for an opportunity to grab my dog. So
I mean, they are predators.
I still love owls, but
for him to swoop next to you, he knew a human was there. I think that's actually probably a good omen.
That was crazy. I was like, I thought they'd be scared of me because I'm so much bigger than them, but apparently that was not the case. They also know Marshmallow.
So we both have owl friends.
Yeah. I mean, mine might have tried to, kill my dog, but still.
Maybe like him. No, Bentley's such a sweetheart. Jane, I had one other good thing happen. I mean, I don't know that happened, but like I had another standout memory from this week that was a highlight. So Blake's home for spring break from Clemson, and So Madison's been hanging out all week. Sophia and Brody have been coming over quite a bit. Blaine's been home. He has to work tonight, but he's had a lot of time off this week. I think he must have done that so he could hang out with Blake. Yeah. Also so cute because all the boys have been playing basketball, soccer, pickleball. They got into pickleball. But so last night, all the kids went to the pickleball courts and played, and then they got home, and Blaine and Blake were going to pick up food, and Brody was going to pick up a buddy. And so the girls were like, we're just going to hang with your mom. So they came. I was just finishing up work. It was like 8 o'clock. And they came in and sat down on my little purple carpet. And Boise was in here getting rubbed because, you know, she didn't make sure she's getting pet. And so we just chit-chatted for like probably an hour. And then we went in the living room. And I'm like, girls, you can say no to me. But if you'd like, I'm going to knock out a Pilates workout in only 30 minutes. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it. And so, oh my God, Sophia can fucking rocket. What are those Rocketeers? The like Christmas dancers that like kick off
the Rockettes.
Rockettes.
I had no idea where we were headed
like there. That girl can put her leg all the way up to her ear. Me and Madison are a little more like, but no. So we did 30 minutes of Pilates from Peloton, and then we all practiced our back bends and doing splits. It was so much fucking fun. My heart was so happy last night. And it was like the boys were doing their own thing and us girls were just doing our own thing. And yeah, so we had like a girls' night. No alcohol, nothing like that. Just pure old-fashioned girls fun.
It's fun,
so, yeah.
That's nice.
All right, Jane, random question generator. Yeah. Do you have a favorite brand? Go.
Favorite brand? Dawn Power Wash.
Jane, that is so you, but I do love that brand. Mine is Levi's. And I tell you guys this all the time. And actually, let me go ahead and show you this booty.
That is so you.
I'm wearing a pair of Levi's right now.
Yeah, they're cute.
And they're like, Levi's have been like my favorite brand. I think I told the podcast this before, but I built my own Levi's like back in high school and I saved up to do that. And I've just always had a staple pair of jeans, at least one or two.
Yeah.
But now I really, especially because I've dropped a couple pounds in the last 2 months. And so I had to downsize in my jeans. So none of my Curve Love fit. By the way, if anyone is a size 30 in Curve Love for Abercrombie and is looking for jeans, I have like 30 pairs. And I hate that they're just sitting in my closet, but they're also too big for me right now. Yeah. So let me know. But anyway, so I've decided I'm just sticking with Levi's. I like the structure. I like the material. I got this wicked sweet one-piece romper or jumpsuit that's like a bustier top. Mm-hmm. And it zips and it's wide leg jeans. Oh my God. It's so So anyway, Levi's is I like how I went straight to clothes and you went straight to clean
supplies. Yeah. Well, also I was thinking about it. I also love my Ninja appliances, like my coffee maker and the crock pot that you got me that does like all the sauteing and everything. I've used that 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I love that thing.
Yeah.
And obviously Shark vacuums. I'm a Shark vacuum girl.
Yeah. Jane, you've got a lot of, I feel like you're always teaching me products. Like I'll pull out 3 products that you influenced me on. This bitch right here. Let me go ahead and use it more.
It's such a good moisturizer.
It is. And then obviously my Bath and Body, which I love this product. The only thing I wish were different about this is the cap breaks in my purse. It's not
strong enough. Yeah.
I love the color. I love the hot pink or the fuchsia too. Hang on. But I'll show you. I had to take the one out of my purse.
Yeah.
I dropped it on the floor too. So because it broke. I wish they'd get that figured out. I'm sure
What if you could put like some mailing tape around it or something to give it more structure? I know that's kind of like
But then what would I do? Like
just around the outside to like, not the whole thing.
Oh, you mean
just the lid?
The lid?
Okay, that was such a gross.
That's a bad idea.
Don't watch that.
Woo! What if you know what I could do? I could,
Jenny,
get some fashion duct tape. Because I used to have campers. Like, remember when I duct taped my chair? Yeah. And I made the leather part? Like, what'd I do?
God, you didn't do anything. You, as usual, was like, look, a bird. But yes, that would totally work. And But you missed the part where I air quote masturbated your lip gloss because it was an accident. But then I saw myself and it was so gross. It was so bad and it was so gross. I'm so sorry. Don't watch that part.
Wait, did you call it masturbated? I would have referred to that as jerked off.
Well, I like to use technical terms. We all know this.
Okay. All right.
Also, that made me think of your car, Luna masturbator.
Jerk? Like, what does that even mean? Maybe we should avoid this topic.
It also made me think of Luna masturbating your car, and I wondered how she was doing.
She's just Luna now these days because she prefers Luna. Now she's doing great. I love my car. Okay, I will say that too. Another. Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry. What's your favorite brand? I would say, does Toyota count for cars?
Yeah, I think so.
But I definitely love their service. I love my 4Runner.
Yeah.
I wish the seats would get hotter. I feel like they need to resolve that because I want a fucking hot back when I'm driving long distance and it's not hot. Yeah. But I love the interior. They ride so smooth. I do want to put bigger tires on it because I feel like it needs to. The tires look small on the body. Mm-hmm. But that's a problem to solve when I need new tires. I still think it looks beautiful without.
Yeah. So, you know what's so weird? I think that about my car too. And I have a VW Tiguan and I love my car. It's super comfortable. It's really nice. Yeah. It's beautiful. But I'm like, why did they put small tires on it? It looks like a station wagon and it's
exactly. Instead of I feel like ours looks more like almost like a car than it does. It looks unproportioned.
Like it's too low to the ground for the type of car it's supposed to be.
I want and I'm not a girl that needs like my car souped up, but
no, but I
just want it to be proportioned. Yeah,
I got an SUV because I wanted to be off the ground. Like,
I
feel safer up there.
Yeah,
and my last. I always did Mitsubishis, which I really like too. But when I test drove the VW, I felt like it rode like a luxury car, and it didn't have the luxury price. So that was
right.
Nice. Yeah, I mean it's still expensive, but it wasn't as bad.
Solomon drives one, and she really likes her car too. Yeah, the same car as you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that leads us into product.
Yeah.
Even though we kind of just talked about some, but what do you got for this week?
Okay, so this is I just ordered this off Amazon, but it's like a heat eye mask.
Ooh.
And you plug it into like a USB plug, so it can be like any phone charger plug.
Yeah.
And then I just put it on at night and it stays on for I think 12 minutes or 18 minutes or something, and then it just goes off naturally. But sometimes at night when I have a headache, I'll put this on when I go to bed, and then when I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, I take it off. But it only stays on for like 18 or 20 minutes or something like that. But it's warm, and you can take the interior part out and wash it so that it's like, not gross.
So what's the benefit?
It's just the warming eye mask. It's good for it just is good for like tension and headaches and stuff like that. I also think it does something for the bags under your eyes.
Nice. Your fucking face looks flawless.
Thanks. It's probably the camera, but I appreciate that.
Hey, I have a camera, but I see all these three. I'm going to start naming these bitches so they can join my club. I'll tell you about that later. Tell you about that later.
Yeah.
All right. I actually brought the Luminous Red Light Therapy. Actually, this had Jane you demoed this before, and then you bought me this for Christmas, and I swear to God, I use it every day. And let me show you what I do. And I have not had to charge it. So I do 5.
Yep.
This feels so good.
Yeah, it does.
Look at that cheekbone pop.
Yeah, I know.
And then pretend that was 5. Then I do that.
Yep, I do those too.
I love how this feels in my ear. It vibrates.
It does something too, yeah.
And then I go side, up.
Yep.
Side.
Yep. And then the other side, yep. And then go down.
Hang on, I gotta even it out. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It helps. It works.
But honestly, I can feel a difference. I do it every morning. Even if I couldn't feel a difference, I like how it feels doing it.
It's like a massage. Yeah.
But I feel like I do see a difference. I feel like my cheekbones have popped a little more.
For sure.
Like there's definition down the,
Yeah. Yep.
Because I don't wear shit on my face.
It's basically like gua sha, which is good for inflammation and fluid retention. And it's also with the light therapy, which is good for all the other things. So acne.
Yeah, I have what it said. Studies suggest that LED light therapy, including luminous devices, can improve skin condition like wrinkles, redness, and acne when used consistently, but results may vary and are often mild to moderate. So,
yeah.
Mild to moderate.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it feels like a massage too.
It does. I do mine at night because I do it before I go to bed, and it like relaxes my face. But the other thing I was going to say was before you start, you should find your lymph nodes here and massage them because it opens them up to take the fluid.
How do I know? I can't feel shit.
It's like above your collarbone. So like the side of your neck and down to above your collarbone is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. There's like a bunch of different places. There's like under your armpit, in between your legs, but not your vagina, but like there's like a bunch of different lymph node places where you would
Can I use this?
Probably. Yeah, you probably could. I usually just press them, but you probably could, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just need to start doing like the back of my neck.
Because it opens it up for the fluid to have a place to go.
Yeah.
My shirt looks like it doesn't fit me.
Ooh, can I show you this shirt? This is one of my Shein purchases. I actually tucked it in my bra because I have a short waist, so anything long is going to go way too far past my... But isn't this cute?
We all know how much you love a crop top.
I love a crop. I, again, have no waist. If it's not a crop, it's a fucking down to my knees.
Yeah.
And then you can't see my curves that are very important to showcase, obviously. Jane, what else are you listening to or watching this week?
I finally got caught up on The Pit, which is the Noah Wiley one. Yeah, on Max. And it's just so well done. It's really good.
I just don't have I'm too easily traumatized. I can't watch it because I can't come down from watching it.
I can't watch it at like bedtime. I can watch it during the day when I'm like doing something or, not really doing something, but just like when I'm trying to relax. Yeah. I can watch it. I can't watch it at bedtime and I'll be up all night because it gets you, it's like hypes you up because there's a lot of trauma stuff.
Yeah, it's trauma. Yeah. It's traumatic.
Yeah.
So we, for the last 2 weeks, since the time change, haven't been watching a ton of TV because it's been light out later. So like we've been going out back with the dogs. If I've actually had to work quite a bit, the last 2 weeks and just life, but it ebbs and flows. So, but we've been doing I've been going out back at night and doing my yoga on the deck and watching the sunset and hanging out. But anyways, so I've been listening to, Houndmouth, who Jeff and I are seeing on 4-5. I love their Little Neon Limelight and Good For You album. And so I've been listening to a lot of that just to get myself back to not so I can sing when we're at the concert. Yeah. And then Camp released a new album. That's CAAMP. Camp is probably my favorite band right now, although Houndmouth's a close second. And I still have all my, Avett Brother, Shovels and Rope. Ooh, we're seeing Shovels and Rope next Saturday. Yeah. And then Indigo Girls, Jeff did give us tickets for the 21st in June. We're going to see them at the music hall. Anyway, so we've been listening to a lot more music, but Camp released a song called Let Things Go. And actually, my buddy Phil Charlin, remember Philly?
Yeah.
Pinged me because he was listening to the song. And I'm glad he thought of me when he heard Camp because I want to be thought of if anyone hears Camp.
Yeah.
But anyways, and he sent me the song. I had already heard it just because I stalked Camp. But I think it's so let things go. And it's talking about letting things go, which is so important. I always say detach. But if you think about what Camp went through, did I already say this? I can't remember what we already talked about or not, but they had gone through a period where their lead singer, I know I talked about this already, but he was just caught up in too much drinking and all the things, and he just couldn't get his head right. And so they ended up being brave enough to cancel their tour. And I say brave enough because people were bitching, but you got to put yourself out. You got to take care of yourself. Yeah. I mean, the result, if you just try to keep pushing through, could have been ugly. Yeah. But now here he comes with this beautiful music because he let his body rest and he's letting shit go. And this song is it's really good, especially for anyone going through a hard time where maybe things are out of your control a little bit and you really do just have to let things go. So Jane, things that make you go,
I mean, I think probably the only thing I can think of for this week, I was telling you earlier, I need to start writing stuff down because I know throughout the week stuff comes up. Just like I know positive things happen throughout the week, but when you ask me, I'm like, I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So you tell yours and I'll see if it triggers me back to something.
So this is weird, right up my alley, and I love being weird. So I have been on a Joe Dispenza. He is a doctor, but more than that, he's just so like spiritual and in touch with the universe, Mother Earth, good Lord above, source, energy, quantum physics. Like he's just a brilliant man, and he's also had a lot of experiences like throughout his life where he's really been in touch with what I would consider source. So anyways, I love anything he's on. It's always uplifting. It's always a really good perspective to think about something. So I watched this I was kind of listening and watching because I was vacuuming, but I listened to the podcast, The Science of Transformation, the Pineal Gland, Time Travel, and Mystical Experiences, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
And I forwarded this to you, and I really want you to watch it.
Okay.
Anyways, that got me thinking about the pineal gland, which is really where we say you get your sixth or your third eye from, like clairvoyance, all that kind of thing. And I want to get to know mine better. So anyways, the point of that podcast was not where I took it to, but this is where I feel like I really am trying to be in touch with, like, when I experience something, like also looking at it through the eyes of an inner child, like my inner child, and trying to get the most out of it with not just like always having to be the adult in the room and the grown up. Like I want to see it from all angles. So somehow, while I had listened to that podcast, finished all my housework, was sitting down to do a yoga workout with Sophia, actually. And somehow when I really started to get into deep breathing, I started thinking about naming. Because a lot of times when I do a yin yoga style, if I'm still flighty and thinking of other things when I really want to be focused, I'll just start going through my body parts. I've told the podcast this before. And I will say, like, hair, thank you. Head, thank you. Brain, thank you. Eyes, thank you. I love you. You work so hard for me. I appreciate you. And it really helps me, like, get to the moment and be present and, like, tell my body I love it. Because I do. But I took it to another level. And I could not stop thinking. And I'm looking at what I sent you. So I decided during that yoga session after my Joe Dispenza podcast hour, I was going to start giving my body parts names instead of being like, lungs, thank you so much for breathing for me. It's going to be Ariel from The Little Mermaid, because your lungs are breathing, which to me reminds me of waves in the ocean. And I feel like that is so now my lungs are Ariel. And so let me just see if I can tell you all the things I've named. I've named my head, or I've named my hair Florence Welch. Hence why we're going to do Florida for Taylor Swift this week, because Florence is in that song. And I feel like Florence is such a free spirit, and she's got she lets her hair go and just be free. And my hair looks nothing like hers, but that's how I want my hair to feel. I want it to know that I just love it the way it is and to be free.
Yeah.
My heart, or my lungs, Ariel. I named my heart Venus because it's the planet of love. I named my brains Mars because it's the planet of action. I named my nervous system Mona Lisa, and I fucking love talking to Mona Lisa, I'm not going to lie, because I can feel her tingle when I talk to her. And the reason why I did that was because I was thinking about, I always want my nervous system to remain calm, cool, and collected. And and Mona Lisa came to mind, and I started thinking, why did I think of that? And I think it's because people go and stare at the Mona Lisa and they feel peace. And that's what I want my nervous system to get. So I think in some sort of roundabout way, that's why I named it that.
Okay.
I named my muscles Ronda Rousey. I think she might have gone pro wrestling, but anyway, she's a badass.
Yeah.
Blaine, because I started telling the family what I was naming, like going through my body parts, and obviously they did the, eye roll, like, Mom, you're nuts, as usual. But then Blaine pipes up and he's like, I think you should name your ass Uranus. So I named my ass Uranus. But I call her Uranus because the girl's classy. I named my skin Green Terra, who is from its Supreme Protection from my tarot deck. And I feel like skin is your biggest organ and it's constantly protecting you. And so I felt like that was a good one. I named my eyes Taylor Allison after Taylor Swift because I think she sees the beauty in everything, even pain. And I love that.
Yeah.
I named my shoulders Ellen Louise because I feel like grandma always had such sturdy shoulders and she always had great posture. And I just feel like your shoulders carry a lot of weight. And I feel like grandma's good to have there. I named my spine Albert after grandpa because I heard he was like, just like a real force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And so I named my back Randall because I feel like the Randall family, our other side of the family, I feel like they've had to carry a lot of burden on their back and really still overcome and are resilient and keep on trucking. But they've had, it's not been an easy road for them. So anyways, that's what I named my back. I named my pineal gland Mary Magdalene, also from my tarot deck. Also, I believe it was the wife of Jesus. But she stands for hang on, you know what? I sent you a text about her. She was a great visionary and teacher with clairvoyant abilities because she was able to see angels and the soul of her twin flame, Master Jesus, his twin flame. She also had the ability to shake up crowds of people to bring their hearts and minds back to the highest good. Yeah. And I feel like that's exactly what I want out of my pineal gland. So it aligns. Oh, I named my hip Shakira because her hips don't lie. And I fucking love that. Did I get them all? I think that is it for now. I'm still working with it, but I want to say this. So now during my meditation, I'm literally having conversations. Like I'm saying things like, Ariel and Venus, you're working so well together this morning. I so appreciate you. Well, I'm doing a really hard pose that I don't enjoy doing, but because I'm talking to them, it's like takes my mind off it.
Yeah.
And it's a pose where your lungs and your heart are working together when I'm doing like heart opening.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes I'm finding myself rubbing Florence while I'm in a certain pose and I'm just like, Florence, you're such a lovely lady. I really, really appreciate you. And I don't know. So I feel like I've just gained about 15 friends.
I think you have. Also, I'm pretty sure it's Mary Magdalene.
Is it Mary Magdalene?
No, Mary Magdalene. I mean, I'm not a big churchgoer, but I feel like it's Mary Magdalene.
Hang on. Well, it's spelled Magdalene. So I've been saying Magdalene, but I didn't go to church, so I don't know.
Well, I didn't either. I've just heard it in passing, but I feel like maybe it's different for tarot. I don't know, but
no, it's definitely Mary Magdalene. It's just, it's either or. Nobody taught me how to read tarot. I'm reading the cards and pronouncing it my own way. Believe it. So
we're all phonetic readers. Remember this is my favorite story about Olivia, or one of my favorites, but remember the day she got off the bus and she was like, Mom, did you know they spell Jesus Jesus? And it still cracks me up to this day.
I say Jesus all the time at work. Instead of saying Jesus, I'm like, Jesus. Even though obviously it's still Jesus.
Yeah.
Or like instead of spelling it, when I'm like, I shouldn't do that, but I just do because I think that's fucking hilarious.
I just remember she had a kid on her bus called Jesus, and she was like, "Do you know they spell that Jesus?" I think she was only like 7, but it was so hilarious.
That is funny. I just saw a memory of you and her. I did a no makeup challenge on Facebook, and so you had posted, and you're like, never a makeup day at this house because of, and you're pointing at her. Yeah, and
not a thing.
Yeah. So it was cute, but it was like she was young.
I miss the young age so much.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure out when her graduation is because the school didn't post it. And I finally found it on the website of the venue.
Yeah.
And they had your husband actually caught it because he's like the date catcher from, I don't know.
He also caught, Liz had texted me dates and the dates were wrong and Jeff caught them immediately too.
He also caught the Monday was the holiday that I didn't catch. Like,
can I say
top of dates
this about Jeff? Like I was talking to my buddy Faraz at work and I don't know how we got to this part, but anyways, I was telling him, I'm like, we were having a conversation about how there's like studies that commissioners who are over like fantasy leagues, nobody wants that job, by the way. You have to call people out for not following the rules. You have to collect money. You have to lay down the law. Nobody wants that job except this bitch here. Jeff thrives in that job. And I was telling for us, I'm like, I think the reason why is because there is not a time in my life that I've known Jeff where Jeff hasn't been exactly who Jeff is. Like, he is the most authentic motherfucker I know.
Yeah.
Which I find incredibly sexy, I have to say. He just owns who he is. He's not afraid to be who he is. He's never changes who he does evolve, but he's not changing just because the room expects you to.
Yeah.
Like,
he's still Jeff. Yeah.
And honestly, he's a goddamn good commissioner because he's not afraid to call out the rules. Nobody can even really be offended because he's never not consistent. Yeah. This is just Jeff. And you don't join his league if you don't want to follow the rules because he'll call you out in a heartbeat. And
And Jeff, he's also got that Canadian thing going where he just is lovable and sweet. I mean, most people love Canadians. I don't know what the fuck's going on in our country right now. Yeah. They want to banish us, and I don't blame them.
We love you, Canada.
Yes, we do love you, Canada. Thank you.
Thank you for standing up for us.
And yourselves, because you should.
And yourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff has that going for him, too. Remember when I got chased by the Canadian goose?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was talking shit to Jeff.
Jeff's cousins are no joke.
Those fucking... Look, first of all, I've never once in my
life... I go out of my way. I'll cross a swamp before I cross the sidewalk where there's goose. No, geese.
I've never had an issue with Canadian geese until the one time I talked shit to Jeff in front of some of them, and then I got chased.
Oh, don't talk shit about a Canadian to a Canadian.
I was like, how do they even know?
They know.
They know.
Yeah.
I was like, that fucker tried to bite me. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's insane.
And you were like laying on the ground laughing, and it was chasing me around the yard.
I was.
And I was right. They're fast.
I know they are. They really are. Jane, all right. So, did you have anything that made you go, Will you please come up with one name for one body part by the end of next week? Would you give your...
So you've always been like a name person. Like,
I know
how you had to do all the boys with B's and 5 letters, and then all the animals had to match that, and they all had B's and 5 letters. So basically, all your children and your animals are because you picked Buddy for your first dog.
Which I didn't pick. Jeff did. I wanted to go with a Beatles theme, like Beatles songs, like Rocky Raccoon or something, and call him Rocky. Like, Jeff totally named him Buddy on purpose, which, Buddy, I love you, and your name really was meant for you. But he did it on purpose because I fucking saved my pennies that he couldn't monitor because he sees everything I do. I literally kept a bucket of pennies. He went out of town. I was 6 months pregnant with Blake. My brother came to visit. Secretly, I had called our brother, and I said, Victor, we're going to adopt a dog, but shh, we can't tell a soul because Jeff can't know. It's going to be his birthday present because he wants a cat. But he had promised me the entire time we lived in an apartment in downtown Charleston that when we got a house, we could get a dog. And then I kept talking to him about it, and he was not pulling the... You know, when I have an idea, I want it done yesterday.
Yeah.
So anyways, I saved without him tracking so that when he went away on this 2-week road trip to California to play hockey, Vic came in. We hit the pound. There was 15 minutes left before the pound closed. It was Buddy and his sister, and I really feel bad we didn't adopt both, but we got Buddy. And I honestly picked a boy because I didn't know how to deal with dog periods, and I wasn't sure if it was a thing. And so, very sorry for the girl, but got Buddy home. And I didn't name him yet, but I was trying to influence, because Jeff didn't know. Someone on the hockey team, one of the wives told their husband, that because it was supposed to be a secret, he told, I don't know which husband it was, but he ended up saying something in an interview on the radio station about, oh yeah, Boo's going to get home and have a dog. And so then Jeff called my ass up and was like, did you get a dog? And somehow I turn it around on him like, how dare you call me and ask me if I got a dog? How dare you? Anyway, yes, I got a dog. So the surprise got ruined, but I showed up because they flew for this trip. And I showed up to the airport with Buddy, and I'm like, happy birthday. You get to name him. And he's like, he wasn't thrilled, but you also couldn't deny Buddy because he was just this little tiny cutie pie. And so Buddy's like licking him on him, and he's like, I guess we're going to call him Buddy. And I'm like, Jeff, everybody's Buddy. And he's like,
we can do better.
Buddy it is. So that was Jeff's way of getting even with me.
Yeah.
And then
he was like, you get the lamest dog name of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeff's not known for his good naming. Didn't he have a cat named Muffin?
Yes. Tippy, because he had a white tip. Muffin. I forget. I mean, he did come up with Bauer, which I love. And he named Bauer after Bauer hockey equipment. And so it kind of had a theme, but it was also a B with 5 letters. Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I liked Bauer.
Yeah, I like it too. And I like calling him Bowie sometimes. Yeah. And
what was the other cat? The white cat that you had?
Oh, Bijou. Bijou was so beautiful. What a beautiful girl. But she was really sick. We adopted her from a house that had like 16 cats, and the cats were beating her ass on a daily basis. And
oh my God.
Yeah. And I think they might have realized she had something wrong with her. Like, not just that she wasn't liked. I think there was something wrong with her. But anyways, we had to keep her upstairs because Bauer and Buddy had just started getting along. And so Bauer doesn't love Bronx either. He does not love other cats. Bauer wants to be the man and the cat of the house.
Yeah.
But he tolerates Bronx. The thing about Bronx, my kitty that we found during COVID, she will fucking defend herself. That bitch is like, she's Jenny from the Bronx. Like, she legit, my God. She came after me this morning because how dare I let Bloom in the office? She was sitting in the window. I didn't know. And so Bloom went to the window, not even to see Bronx, but it scared Bronx. So her adrenaline flared. She swatted Bloom. And then I came to the window to be like, honey, it's okay. You're good. And as soon as I came in, she was like, what? I was like, Bronx, you asshole.
Did she get you?
She got me a little, but like, then she felt so bad. Her adrenaline was up. She doesn't mean it. She's in a house with a larger cat, 2 big dogs. The dogs bark all the time. Kids in and out. The boys play rough with her. She does like it, but still. So she doesn't want to hurt me. She really... I'm the one that fucking found her first. Even though Brody tries to take credit for it, it was me that heard it through my Dr. Dre beats. Not you, bitch.
Do you remember when I came and stayed with Mom to take care of the boys while you and Jeff went on the cruise or whatever, and you guys had, I'm pretty sure it was Bauer. It wasn't Bijou because it wasn't the white cat. I'm pretty sure it was Bauer.
Yeah, Bauer.
So it had to have been Bauer.
Yeah, it had to have been Bauer.
And I remember Brody Bauer had thrown up like 3 times on the countertop.
Yeah.
And I was like dry heaving in the corner because I couldn't even deal with it.
And on our countertops.
And Brody and Blaine were fighting about who was cleaning it up. And Brody was like, if I clean it up, you have to admit he's my cat. And Blaine was like, it's not your cat, it's my cat. And Brody was like, then you clean up the puke. And I was like, somebody clean up the puke.
So they love to say who owns what animal. Like, what animal loves them the most.
I mean, I could barely stay upright at that point. I was just trying to just keep it all together. And the 2 of them were fucking arguing about it.
We have a very lived-in house. There's puke in our house at least once or twice a week between the cats and the dogs.
Yeah, that throws up every once in a while too. And I mean, I don't love when it happens, but I get that when it's your animal, you get to it and you clean it up. But I was like, I'm allergic to cats, so I'm never around them. And I just was like, just trying to not throw up too.
Yeah.
And because it was like a lot. And,
I know.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Like, here's the other thing about getting a small dog when you're allergic to everything and you can only get like a hypoallergenic man-made dog.
Yeah.
The thing, they don't poop a lot. It's like a small amount to manage. Yeah. And I pick it up every time, whether it's our yard or somebody else's on our walk, or I just pick it up immediately and put it in the
one touch rule.
One touch rule. It doesn't ever stay there. And the same when he throws up, he just throws up a little tiny bit of foam.
Yeah.
So I'm so lucky because I don't have like a lot.
Meanwhile, I've got double bagged mounds of fucking, if it's a Boise shit, A, it smells like a sausage factory, and B, it literally fills. Usually Jeff does that, because honestly, I get grossed out. But
wait, tell me about how you race home, so if they poop in the yard, it's his job?
Wait, what?
Tell me the story about how when you guys were on walks, you fucking used to race home, because if it was in the yard, Jeff had to pick it up.
100%. Yeah, if we made it to the house, the rule was him. If we were walking, it was every other. Or if Bloom did, he picked it up. If Boise did, I did. Whoever you were walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be like, come on, girls, come on. I've started to just get over it, because all it is, I mean, it's shit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No, but I always, like, house of Boo does not leave dog shit on the ground. In the backyard, Jeff picks it up once a week. But we're walking. We're not the people that let our dog shit.
I would never. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I will give someone a death look if I see him leave it at my house too and say something. But if your dog poops in my yard and you pick it up, I don't care. Like that's
same. I mean, dogs have to poop. That's where they poop.
Right.
We do have some people in our neighborhood that have signs up saying no pooping in the yard, and I'm just like, I mean, I try.
What am I supposed to rip him out
I'm going around the block. Your house is there, and if my dog has to shit, I can't drag her. Like it is what it is.
And also,
I will pick it up. Yeah.
So settle down. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I told you, remember that psycho lady up the street from me that followed me home that day?
Yeah.
Because she thought that Bentley pooped and I didn't pick it up. Meanwhile, she watched me pick it up, so I was like, whatever, bitch. Yeah. But then she followed me home and I came up the hill and I saw a car in my driveway. I'm a female who lives alone with my kid.
Yeah.
And
that's fucked up.
Or at the time I did. And I remember when she got out, she was like, I saw some stuff at the end of the road. And I remember saying to her, this was like the second or third time she said something to me for no reason because I don't leave it anywywhere. Even if it's diarrhea, I try to pick it up. And Olivia's like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, you should at least try. And so anyhow, that third time I think.
Oh, that's the time that you said something.
I said, you need to get a fucking life, lady. Like, enough. First of all, you just followed me home like a straight stalker.
Yeah.
Second of all, I never leave it. I've literally talked to fake Ring doorbell cameras when I ran out of bags to say, like, I promise I'm coming right back. Sprint home, get bags, and sprint back.
Yeah.
To pick it up. Like, I'm not the one that you need to ever say anything to.
Yeah.
And
was she shocked or did she just get in her car?
I think she was shocked, but I've seen her do stuff with a couple of people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
She's just one of those
people.
She
doesn't seem like she's all...
Something's not right. Yeah. Because remember when those people's house burnt down?
Yeah, and she was
she got out of the car
while their house was still smoking.
Yeah, and just trying to they're living their worst nightmare.
The guy
she's trying to talk shit and get information to I don't know, spread around. I was just trying to say that a car blew up in their basement and that's what did it because their garage was under their house.
Yeah.
And something about a car burning and that you shouldn't have had that many cars and he came out he was about to kill her and I was like, I fully support this.
I don't blame you. Yeah. She's running her mouth when she should not
get the hell out of here. These people are living a nightmare. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get a life.
She's definitely nuts.
Yeah. She has not said anything to me since the day she pulled up in my driveway like Jeffrey Dahmer. Because that was the day that Jane had enough and there's no more anymore because now you're just going to get enough.
I'm scared of the days Jane's had enough.
I feel like I take a lot before I get to that point.
You take a lot before, because you're not afraid to politely put up boundaries. So if people are ignoring those very obvious boundaries, then you're looking for some shit to hit the fan.
Right. Then you obviously can't understand it that way, so I'll give it to you a little bit more blunt. Back the fuck up and don't come to my house again.
Meanwhile, I feel like I tolerate, you don't know because I'm not giving you signals, and then all of a sudden I'm like, fucking done!
The thing about you when you're fucking done is that you're 4 foot, not one, and it's like watching Scrappy You, although you're a savage, and so
I am a savage.
I always remember the fucking catching you mid-air when you were going from plane that day, and I'm like, and you're swinging over my shoulders, and your ass is right here, and I'm holding you, and I'm trying to push him back, and I remember being like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, what have I done in life?
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, one day we were at a softball game, me and Jeff, our team, that when we were playing rec center softball like in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I told you this story, but it's non-competitive. So we have people on the team that's literally never played softball before. Yeah. It's not a team that you show up and you're all in the same freaking
uniforms.
Uniform with your $5,000 bats. It's not that at all. And you're not supposed to play in the league if you're competitive because you can hurt somebody. And then there's a rule for the pitcher. It's slow pitch, and you're not allowed to hit the ball towards the pitcher. And if you do, it's an automatic out. That's the rules. I hate when people want to fucking bitch about the rules that are the rules. Don't sign up for this league if you don't like
sign up for a fucking
rules.
Competitive league. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this girl gets up. That we played a non-competitive team that showed up in full gear outfits, ridiculous. clearly competitive.
Yeah.
Like competitive.
Yeah.
And, by the way, we beat him that day because Karma's a bitch. But anyway.
Fair enough.
So this girl who was a softball player, like legit, she fucking nailed Jeff as the pitcher in the shin.
Ugh. Yeah.
Rep called her out like he should, or called her out like he should have. And she's like, I can't help it. The old man can't catch the ball. I was in outfield. My ass, this is the one time, and maybe I've had a couple, but in my adult life where I fucking saw red. Like, yeah. A, it's the rule. B, you fucking hurt him. He still has, this was 4 years ago. He still has a indent in his shin, and I don't care that you're a girl or a boy. If you hit that hard, like, it's not about, she tried to play the I'm a girl card too, which I was oh my God, you're clearly a softball player and you hurt him, motherfucker. Yeah.
Right.
I lost my mind that game. They had to hold me back. Let me just say she didn't come out to slap my hand, and that's right. That she sit there in that. You should be scared of me. I was scared. I get scared of me when I get like that, but I try not to.
No, I do think when the snap happens, I'm like, look, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Make an attempt to be a wall in front of her. That's all I have for you. She's savage and scrappy, but she's also wiry. So I can't promise I'll stop her.
That's so true. Oh, Jane, experiences that have humbled Jane in her 40s. Anything this week?
I mean, the constant pain that I feel just randomly, like the other day I picked up a paint can and I felt like I threw out my fucking whole upper arm, and I was like, what? I don't know if I'm getting weaker, and this might have something to do with menopause. I'm not really sure, but I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to start lifting weights because I feel like I'm not as strong as I used to be. And stuff like picking up a paint can makes me feel like I threw out my arm, and I'm like, it just happened.
No, I mean, I'm not feeling lifting weights lately, but I've been doing a ton of body weight.
Yeah.
Like planks and push-ups and
for strength.
Yeah, and I feel better, but I am not as strong as I used to be. I really struggle opening jars.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's a real thing for me.
I tried to move, like slide my dresser. Now mind you, it was full of clothes and everything. It's got like 9 drawers. But I was just trying to slide it out of the way of painting, and I literally could not make it move.
Yeah.
And Olivia came in and like lifted and moved it. And I was like, what happened? Because I used to be able to do that stuff, and now I can't lift it. Or, when Mom
is lifting weights and doing cardio.
She has been, she's been going to the gym a lot. She looks good and she's feeling good, and I'm happy for her. Mm-hmm.
Jane, I have something that's experienced me or that's humbled me.
Humbled you? Okay.
And I don't know why we don't get to talk about it. I feel like we're shamed over it. And I don't think I'm the only person. But fucking menopause, and I'm not quite there. I'm in peri. I feel like, especially around my period, I get white, wiry, freaking like little hairs on my neck or on my chin. Tell me I'm not the only one.
I'm sure you're not.
And also, can you do a girl? Shit, I lost what I wanted to say about that. But like a solid, that's what I wanted to say. And if you fucking see one and I haven't noticed it, please point it out so I can fucking pluck it. Like, do you ever see like the flyaway ones where you're in the right light and all of a sudden there's like a fucking wire on your chin and it's like nobody tells you? No, are you telling me you didn't notice that? It's like if your fly's down, I'm gonna give you a polite. I'm not gonna say it in front of everyone, but I'm gonna be like, hey, your fly's down. Can you be like, hey, you have a fucking wiry chin hair and you need to pluck it?
That would be helpful.
I know.
I don't know if I get to miss that fun stage because I went straight from no menopause to all menopause.
So you don't get any like wiry hairs?
No, I haven't. Knock on wood. Now I probably will. But
no, you won't because I'm way hairier than you. But the thing is, for me, I feel like it's definitely in the cycle with my period. It's right around. Well, maybe that's it too. But
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's fucking. I really would prefer not to have chin hairs, but I also don't want to deny that I do, and I'm sick of fucking being ashamed of it. It is what it is. I have no control over my body.
No, I mean,
but heads up if you notice one.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you too. I'm not downplaying your wiry chin hairs, but I'll fucking raise you a sweat through your entire outfit in the middle of the night and wake up feeling like you're in lava, and you're like, "What is happening?" Thank God for those patches that they gave me because I don't have that happen anymore. But remember those first couple of weeks after I had surgery?
Yeah.
And I was just like fucking sweating through my clothes and dripping with sweat like I had just come out of a pool or
I've had a couple hot flashes, so I know exactly. I mean, I didn't have them as regularly as you, but when it's happened, and Jeff's been my witness.
Yeah.
I fucking had a hot flash at your house.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I slept through it because the other thing is too, you want to get up and change, but then if I get up, I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then I slept down, and that's not good either.
And I was waking up like 9 times a night at that point.
Yeah, oh my God.
And I'd like wake up and I had a fan right next to my bed and I would just I kept that fan blowing on me and I would just take the covers off to like dry me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, it was so bad. Ugh.
Yeah.
Thank God for the patches.
I know.
That would do.
So was that hormone replacement therapy?
Yeah. Yep. I'm on estrogen and progesterone. And progesterone is the one that helped me stop crying all day, every day. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was super fun too. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, women, we fucking go through it. Like, I'll take the head and cough any day over the shit we have to do. Whether it be having babies or periods, which feel like labor sometimes, depending on how bad they are.
Mine lately have been, I'm on a 22-day cycle. I just finally, but I did get my period during the lunar eclipse, which apparently means I'm a red witch. Magical tendencies, and I totally believe it.
I don't know what red witch means, but
I don't know. It's like the blood moon, and I have to do more research on it. But ultimately, I did, so I am in that category. I know I'm a witch. I just haven't, and I'm a good witch. But
do you think you were burned at the stake at one point in life?
Or? I totally think. I think that's
because I think those were actually not witches.
I have
just
such a fear of fire. I have a fear of rape. I have a fear of torture. A real fear. I feel like it's possible I've experienced some of that in my past lives.
Well,
it's not a joking matter.
The other reality about that is those were actually probably not witches, just women.
Yeah, exactly.
We just made them witches so we could murder them.
Well, in my definition of a witch, I think of somebody. I feel like that word sounds negative, and it's not. And I think there's no doubt I'm not in touch with the universe. Ask my freaking owl friend in the backyard. There's no way if I literally, and I'm not bragging about this, but I do feel a little bit like it's a humble brag. If I am around animals, they're going to swarm at me. Babies freaking love me. I feel like there is a certain, I can be honest with myself about my energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, I don't know, like even all week, the moon's been like half. And so when we're taking the dogs for a ride, I've had my song, Affair with the Moon, on repeat. Jeff's like, all right, enough. I'm like, no, not till we get through this. The moon's almost going to not be visible. Then I'll stop playing it. But like, there's something about the moonlight when it touches me. I have to roll my window down, even if it's cold, because I actually want it on me. I feel it. And I think that that's all signs of, I feel like I'm a witch.
No, I mean, I think when we were growing up, because we always joked about how, like, you were older, but not older. And I was always told, like, oh, you're an old soul, because I was, like, more mature than I should have been for my age, or I thought about things in a more sort of long-term consequences type way, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you were always, like, the flower child who was, like, just flitting from place to place and doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I remember when we were younger, it would be like, this is her first time here. And but now I'm like, maybe not. Maybe she's been here multiple times, and so she just got some shit figured out. Like, maybe
I don't know. I mean, I do feel like when you messaged me the other day, I forget what we were talking about, but the items you had on the list, I'm already doing, and it wasn't because it's because I feel like I should do that. Like I feel like a tendency to, I don't know. I can't explain it. I watched this chick today who I really love. Her name's Amber Kavanaugh, and she's the West Coast Medium one on YouTube and Instagram. Well, I listened to her near-death story. She's Canadian. And there's no way I doubt anything she's saying. Like, it's so authentic, it's not even funny. She's been in, like, she's seen spirits her entire life and then had a near-death experience and saw her spirits, and I totally believe her. I just don't think she's making that shit up. And also, so the medium work she does, which I'll watch some of her live videos and like people ask her questions. I haven't actually asked her a question, but like I've totally put comments on there just cheering her on because I love her work. And I feel like her answers make such sense to me. It's simple. It's like, I don't know, just doing the right thing and, you know, trying to do good for others and being a positive force and feeling all your feelings fully and, you know, detaching and letting them go and getting outside in nature. And I don't know, she's spot on to me. But anyway, I just started getting into her stuff because I have on a near-death experience, which I'm still addicted to. I go to sleep to them and I wake up to them because they're always so uplifting. Did I tell you this already? Like, you're supposed to start and end your day with what they call power hour, like something super uplifting, both to start and to stop. And it like sets the tone for your day. Sleeping and up. Yeah. So anyways, I've been Joe Dispenza in it, up or near-death experiences. But anyway, Jane, it is 1 hour, and I know you're doing lunch with Crystal.
Yeah.
Tell her we said hi. Oh, shit, we haven't done her song yet.
Oh, no.
You guys, Taylor Swift song-focused lyrics. I'm going to try. So, on account of me naming my hair Florence Welch, it led us to Florida. It's one out of a drug. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, so our song week in Florida. Yeah. But Jane, we got to talk about this. So when me and Jane were looking at the lyrics, the part where it's like, little did you know your home's really only a town you're just a guest in. So you work your life away just to pay for a timeshare down in Destin. And then it says it again. Little did you know your home's really only a time you'll get arrested. So you pack your life away just to wait out the shitstorm down in Texas, Florida. All right, so back to the point. Jane read it and I read it. How I've always heard this song when she says, little did you know your home's... I read it as if she was saying little, like herself, to her little self, like little did you know. And
like Jane, a name.
Yeah, like a name, like a nickname for a little one. Yeah. Jane, what did you hear?
I read it like a phrase, like little did you know. And that's telling you like something that you're supposed to take away from it. So it's funny because you read it like you're talking to your inner child. I read it like somebody was telling me like I'm learning something. And I was thinking about that after we talked about it a little bit this morning because we had heard it so differently, but the same exact words, the same, like it wasn't like you heard somebody sing it and I heard somebody sing it, saying it different.
No.
We just, I mean, the power of perception.
We interpreted it different. Yeah.
But I think that for you, you're constantly looking at journey and your inner self and your inner child and I'm looking at learning and growing and developing. And so it's similar, but we're just different ways of doing it. And so I think that song kind of encapsulates that, which is interesting.
Exactly. Because it shows you can get what, ooh, Jane, 12.
Nice.
Yeah. It's 12. Nice. That's a synchronicity. Thank you, Universe, Mother Earth, Good Lord, Love, Blind Faith, Baby. But anyway, I think it's so interesting that we both got a positive message out of it. Like literally, I loved it. If I heard it the way she meant to say it, and the whole time, that's what I've thought. So like little darling, or like I just love the idea of like, when I have grandkids someday, hopefully, like calling them littles. I just think that's so cute. And like in here,
does that. Doesn't Sis do that? She calls her nieces and nephews littles.
I also love darling and little darling. I think that's because Graham called us that.
She did call us darling,
yeah. So that's my little darlings. Yeah, I'm excited for that. So that's where my brain went. And I just love that your interpretation gave you exactly what you needed and mine gave me what I
needed. That's cool. And that's a great song. I think a lot of times too, when Taylor Swift writes stuff, if you listen to her lyrics or you read her lyrics, a lot of times there's multiple meanings in the things.
Yeah, exactly.
So she calls them Easter eggs, whatever.
It'd be so cool. But her thoughts of the songs have probably even changed now at this point. But it'd be so cool if like, I'm sure she did this, but like if she'd ever share it, like a summary of what each song, like where she was mentally when she wrote that song. And 10, 20 years later, looking back at the song, does she have a different meaning now because it's affected the masses, and then they interpret their take, and does it change the way she thinks about the song?
Yeah.
Because it's evolved.
Pretty cool.
That'd be such a cool interview to have.
Yeah, it would, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. Keep manifesting.
We got to. We will meet Taylor Swift. Yeah. And by then she will be Taylor Allison Kelsey.
Okay.
I am hoping for that so bad. But I don't want to affect their timeline and all, but I just think I love how happy they seem to be, and it feels so genuine to me.
Yeah, she does seem happy. She deserves it.
Yeah, definitely.
Go to see.
Well, I love you.
Love you too.
And call me later.
Will do.
Okay, bye.
Bye.